Hello and welcome to the VR Master League. Today we are running Burning Chrome versus the Great Apes. A slightly lower tier matchup than usual though, hopefully, or rather I expect it to be just as entertaining as the higher tier ones, or maybe not as entertaining as something like low and beginners, because those people man, they're in a different league. Maybe they are, maybe they're in a secret league that we don't know about, us plebeians. You never know, these people, they could be way up there in a whole different area. But now, getting to the specifics of this particular match, we have some interesting things going on, especially the map that has been picked for the first map on this match here. So let's get straight into that. We'll give you the bans in a second, but the first map here is going to be Quarantine 2. Oh, that's the ban, sorry. It's going to be Quarantine, there you go. Quarantine 2 is the pick. Not 1, it may say 1 on there, but it is in fact 2, which is a very rare map indeed to see. I think it's only been played 2 times, maybe 3 times in this season, whatever the actual number is. I can assure you, it is definitely not high in any capacity. But now we can bring up the bans. This is a Suburbia ban from Burning Chrome, and from the other side, the Great Apes, we have a Tanker ban. Pretty standard bans really. Maybe they're not feeling too confident on either map, which Tanker, I don't think any team really feels too confident on it, with the exception of Danglers, something along those lines. We have a little bit of the statistics from Burning Chrome here. They are quite weak on Bazaar and Downfall. They've only won 34% of the rounds they've played on it, which is definitely not too great. Also Downfall, 39% of the rounds they've played on it they have won, which is definitely not too great. They're not having too good of a time on those, but we do have them breaking even just about on Cargo and also Quarantine 1, going 51 and 55% respectively, so they are breaking even there, and they do have some wins under their belt on those particular maps. And Subway, if we do see it later on, which, thinking about it, we will not see it later on, as Subway is still banned for this week, unfortunately. Kind of maybe a little bit bad for Burning Chrome, because they do have a pretty good win rate on Subway. 72% of rounds they've played on it, they have won, which is certainly a pretty good metric to have. I don't think many teams have something that high, but I hope it doesn't affect them too much. It's entirely possible they have yet to get used to the new Subway, so possibly it wouldn't really affect them either way. We'll have to see. But going on to the Great Apes now. They struggle on quite a few maps. They have some issues on Bazaar, they have issues on Downfall, Cargo, Suburbia, Quarantine 1, all below that 50% threshold of just barely breaking even on the maps, on the rounds rather. They have won, which could cause some issues on them though. Quarantine 1 is kind of the least affected of these maps on the pool we have here today. 45% of the rounds they've won. They could definitely make that work if we do see Quarantine 1 played, which clearly is not going to be the case since we have Quarantine 2 picked, and if you somehow didn't realise, you cannot pick a night map and the day version of said map in the same match. They're regarded as the exact same map in the pool, so you can't pick it twice. That's out of the question. So maybe the Great Apes will be able to pull something off here, though. Maybe they're going to have some issues with Burning Chrome here. They have a slightly, just barely higher win rate on the rounds percentage, 55 versus 45. Could cause issues for them. That is a 11% difference, but it could also be down to the match amount of matches they've played, or the individual teams they played. We'll have to just see, as I've said, how things will play out. It should hopefully work pretty well for both teams involved. Either way, we should be seeing some good rounds at the very least. I'm getting into it. It seems the lobby that we had up previously is just getting a quick rehost, so hopefully it's not going to be too long before we do get into our game. So I'm just going to quickly take a look here, and by the way, I see that in chat. Thank you, Mr. Jacob, for the Twitch Prime sub. If you do have Twitch Prime, feel free to spend your free subscribe on this channel. It will go towards the casters and the league in general, which will help support all of us in general, giving you this nice content that you are here today enjoying. Alright, so it appears the lobby is back up. Maybe some tech issues. Not too uncommon in Onward, unfortunately. A few minor tech issues. They have rehosted the lobby, and it does look a little bit better. At least I would hope so. Maybe there was confusion with the map choice? No, it's the exact same map, which is good to see. Sometimes there are mild mix-ups, so maybe they picked Quarantine 1 and Quarantine instead of Quarantine 2. A little bit of a fat finger on the keyboard, and they accidentally sent to the other team captain what map they wanted to pick. Things like that happen. You never know. But now the teams are starting to pile up in this lobby, so hopefully it should not be too long indeed. But really, on other notes here, we do not have too much to talk about between these two teams. They have been in the league a very long time compared to other teams already. They've been in since Season 2. They're a pretty OG team, to say. But they have been in a bit of a rut lately. Well, over the past few seasons, they have gone up against numerous teams. Teams that have rose from the ashes. Teams that have died into ashes, rose from them. They've seen the whole history of Onward the League just unraveling before them during their time here. Maybe they'll bring out some experience things, like maybe we'll see some interesting spots or things like that you can only really get from playing in the league or in the Onward in general for a very long period of time. Or maybe we'll see some more pre-prepared strats. Things like that. I'm not entirely certain. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. I would like to see some more pre-prepared strats. That would be interesting. It's asking me if I'm ready to hop in here. We are indeed. Just saying that we are good and ready to go. But hopefully, we should be seeing good rounds here. I've lost my train of thought from earlier. Yeah, we should be seeing. Hopefully, I like to think, some pre-prepared plays. I do like my pre-prepared plays. Nice coordinated, nice smokes, pushing in at the same time. Love it. Anyway, just to rehash the picks and bans we have here today. We have Quarantine, the pick from Burning Chrome, the home team. And we have the bans. It is Tanker from the Great Apes. And from the opposing side, the home team, Burning Chrome, we do have a Suburbia ban. Pretty common bans, as I said. Hopefully it shouldn't be too big of an issue for either team, really. Tanker, no one really likes to play. It's kind of an off-ball. Dangler's an exception to that rule. And also, to a degree, Blaze. They sometimes do like to play Tanker, though I don't think it is a preferred choice of theirs. But Suburbia, somewhat strange to see it banned. They do still have, of course, Quarantine, Bazaar, Cargo, and Downfall, with Quarantine being one of the maps picked. So, with Suburbia out of the equation, they may not be feeling too confident on small maps, Burning Chrome, that is. So I think they will try and avoid picking Cargo, and maybe they'll pick Downfall. I believe they will pick Downfall, honestly, if we do go into the third and final map. Which we, of course, will, but you never know. They could throw a curveball at us on the third map and just forfeit it. Something like that is not in the impossibilities of happening. Now we can go ahead and bring you into the game here just to show off what kind of objective we're going to be starting off with if we hop into the game here. You can take a look at the map in the bottom right of the screen here, and you can see it's going to be the ambulance objective to start off with. A pretty dangerous one, really. It allows some very rush plays, especially if you get the quick spawn over on the western side of the map there. You can just see by the two buildings next to each other. That can be a very dangerous spawn for the Vault defenders. Also, if it's a northern spawn just on the white truck kind of area, that can also be incredibly dangerous for the defenders because of the very quick signs of light, lines of sight rather, you can get. So I've got a feeling, just based off playing the game so much, that we're going to see a pretty lucky spawn for everyone, for the defense, and it's just going to be a crate spawn. Let's take a look. Unfortunately, not the case. My predictions... Maybe I intentionally fudged the predictions there, but we're not getting such a lucky spawn. But we are getting here some Quarantine 2. This is old school. I've not casted a Quarantine 2 match in a very long time, but is that dangerous spawn in the north? Question is anyone going to try and go for the picks nice and early? Section 8 is looking for something, but he was a bit too late. The other two members that could have peeked it had already well moved on. Can actually turn off the flashlight of the observer right here and take a look at what the players are almost seeing, with the exception of night vision. We cannot emulate night vision, unfortunately. Oh, Talca may have spotted someone. He did spot somebody, unsure of who they spotted. Seems he spotted someone over way at the cement trucks. Maybe even beyond that. He's shooting nothing, actually. Who knows, to be honest. But there is Snooperfax just here. He's looking out around the motel and roof area, trying to catch somebody peeking out, popping off some shots, lighting up like a beacon in this darkness. So far, nobody but his own team has done that, so he's going to be a bit dry for a while, though. There are two members over by the motel here that is triggered, and also on the right-hand side there, the captain of Burning Chrome, Sled. They are playing pretty cautious, it seems. Snooperfax, however, throwing caution a little bit to the wind. He does hear Sled approaching him, and he's going to be waiting for him to come through this door. Pretty good move. He does have the superior cover. As long as a nade doesn't come up. Oh no, he's just tapped his radio to communicate to his team. That does alert Sled that there is a man in here. And Triggered could indeed just rush him, and this could be so dangerous to everyone. Dropping back down to the stairs. There is a nade coming out. You can hear it get unpinned. This is very dangerous. I think it just threaded through the window. Yes, it did. He's staring at it and it goes down. A very nice threaded nade from Sled there. That is going to allow him to finish off Snooperfax, though he will give away his position as he gets called out. Appears Triggered is also just linking up with the rest of his team, but the rest of Burning Chrome is kind of just hanging out over this western side. They're actually moving up relatively close here. You can take a look at White Storm and his other two members on the western side. They're starting to move up to the gas station area. They could actually be planning an assault on the south relatively quickly. We are starting to see the smokes on the east, which could be actually really good for them. Lightsteed, however, in a pretty good position to catch the cross if one does come out, along with Talcow, but he's out of there.
Or at least one across the street over to me to the east.
Talcow does know there's at least one across, which is correct there. For now, there is only one member across, which will allow these men to hopefully reposition to a slightly better position, though Lightsteed is still in a very good position to go flanking here, and he could, in fact, take down one as he peeks around this corner. He does see Trigger, gets a nice shot onto him. That should hopefully alert Sled of Lightsteed's location. He will have to be careful. Sled, however, does take down Talcar. The man on the wing shouldn't be able to see Sled from this kind of distance because of the darkness. This could be a big boon for the members of Burning Chrome, actually. White Storm has pushed up so far. He takes down Irish Gorilla. He's at the wing now. He's way behind the objective. This could be incredibly powerful. Hyler and Zevin also having a bit of a confrontation, and it's Zevin who comes out on top. Now he's actually going to be rushing the objective. There is smoke in from the south. And the last man, Lightsteed, is way too far from the objective. Zevin actually doesn't Realised that was a friendly nade. Not sure why this is not so coordinated, but there are men going for the cap now. That is Whitestorm. Lightseed is trying to collapse in on the objective, but he may be a little bit too slow. He does come in. He does take down Whitestorm. And unfortunately, it is not enough, though. He gets it just too late. And that is going to take the cap on the first round for Burning Chrome. Very unfortunate for the Great Apes. But since somebody asked it in chat, I probably should have given it to you earlier. This is the roster we have for the both teams today. We have Sled, we have Triggered, we have Whitestorm, Zectionate and Zevin on the side of Burning Chrome. With the exception of Triggered and Whitestorm, they've been there pretty much since the start of the team. They've never really changed up. Though Triggered and Whitestorm, both good players, both brought in quite recently. Well, quite recently I say. It's been about 2.5 seasons since they came in, but relatively recent compared to the age of the team. And on the side of the Great Apes, you've got Snooperfax, Tyler, Taucow, Lightseed, and Irish Gorilla. Again, same kind of story, not really too much with a roster changes lately, though they did bring in, I believe, Snooperfax and Tyler also semi-recently, but again, it's been a little bit since they came in, maybe a season and a half, so they are pretty well acquainted with the team. But now thinking back to what we saw during that previous round, I think we can definitely expect some more kind of distractionary plays like that. You see the guys on the west, just thinking back on it, the guys on the west, they stayed totally silent until their kind of beginning of the push when they were already behind Burning Chrome's, or rather the Great Apes defense. So I believe we may see some more of that kind of eastern side, lots of distraction fire, the smokes, the crossover into a kind of a dangerous position that you cannot ignore, while the western guys kind of just skulk about, keep themselves hidden, allow themselves to push through the gaps in the Great Apes defense. I think we'll see definitely more of that as this progresses. Now at least we'll be going into the second round. This time it's going to be Burning Chrome, their chance to defend this objective, and it should most likely lead them to a 3-0 lead unless the Great Apes can pull something pretty spectacular off. Though it is the same spawn, so maybe if they get an early pick here, that'll certainly be the something that'll give them to spark to kind of get back the pace from a cap at the first round, because that'll certainly suck away any of the pace you may have. Going on with the Great Apes here. They were still sitting in spawn for a solid 20 seconds there. Not entirely sure what the plan was there. That did give up their opportunity to pick some men on the objective off, and this is a eastern focused offense, all moving as a kind of death ball composition. Be interesting to see how this works out. If we take a look at the map here, the defense of Burning Chrome is very tight on the objective actually. They may not expect the man just south of the East 2 story there, which could cause the Great Apes some issues. They shouldn't expect that though. If they do expect it and they get a nade there, that'll totally collapse Burning Chrome's defense as long as the Great Apes can get up into their kind of southeast hills. Snooperfax was spotted there by somebody from Burning actually. That's Triggered. Good information to have, and that's a very good position to continue to hold. I imagine the Great Apes is going to want to take that immediately if they want any real chance of being able to take down this objective, because that does give you such good vision on the objective that you can't really allow it to continue to exist if you're trying to attack it. It's actually the man Sled, and Lightseed takes down Triggered in the Burning building, exactly as I said. Looks like Lightseed also dropped his gun. That is a position they wanted to take down, if any position. Going to be Sled, as I said, waiting for them. Sled, as I said, there you go. He's going to be waiting for them. He may be able to tag Snooperfax around the corner. There is a bit of distraction fire coming out on the western side. Sled does go down from Irish Gorilla, who does manage to just catch him from the edge of the stairs, and there is a lot of suppressive fire coming from Whitestorm on the objective. If Snooperfax peeks that corner, that can be deadly. There is a lot of fire coming on the objective right now, though as long as Whitestorm plays his cards right, it should not be too big of an issue. Whitestorm is aware of the man Sled going down. He is resable, but it's going to be such a almost impossible revive to get. The man on the north and west side has rotated around and is coming to back up his friends here. But unfortunately, that's not going to stop Snooperfax from downing Zevin. That's a revive they need to get immediately. Snoopfax is going to come up just past stage. He's not finished it off yet. Zevin is calling out the man. Snoopfax, he just fails to get the shot off. He tried to pull out his pistol, it doesn't work out. Nade coming from Whitestorm. They are trying to defend this as much as they can. This is so dangerous. They need to get the revives right now. Whitestorm's got to get the man up as Section 8 and Whitestorm almost kill each other. This man on the objective is a killer. Both teams. A killer to both teams, that's what I was meant to say. But the Great Apes, their kind of offense here is starting to spread out a little bit. They do have their man from the tank trying to take down a man on the objective. Likely not going to work out too well, but Irish Griller and Tyler, they are totally behind the defense here. Whitestorm was also picked off by Tau Cow. Peeking that wall too much, not a good idea.
Yeah.
And with that suppression from the roof as well, this is the perfect opportunity for the Great Apes. This is exactly what they need to pull off if they want to do this objective. You can see Zevin was taken down by Tyler, and that's just going to leave Section 8 on the objective. That's not really going to be enough, and Irish Gorilla is going to be allowed to walk up to the objective. Section 8 is very slowly peeking this corner. If Irish Gorilla can get this off in time, it could be a cap, but unfortunately not, and instead it's Tyler who takes out Section 8 as he tries to peek the objective. Very unfortunate, though. A very clean round for the Great Apes. This could be a match indeed. This could go to a very tense third map. Again, thank you, Liverguts, for the Twitch Prime subscription. In case you didn't hear me say it earlier, every kind of subscription you get, even free Twitch Prime ones, do go towards the casting team, and it helps us produce things like this, so it's all much appreciated. But back onto this round at hand. This is kind of what I was expecting. The pre-organised plays, you saw the man go around the western side, pop off a little bit of fire, then rotate around the far north, come around and back up his team coming through the tank. That's definitely something that was pre-planned. I don't believe that would be something they would just be able to do straight off the fly. I'd expect that more of, like, say, Globochem or, say, SMC or Animal House, maybe. Blaze also a contender for that, but I don't think the Great Apes is really a team known for its aggressive plays like Blaze. Well, it's not super aggressive anyway. Looking at the scoreboard here, you can see what damage Lightsteed is doing here. 3-0. He's doing very well, though. The rest of his team is also picking up some slack. Tyler also going 2-1. If you stay above a 1 KDA ratio, you're certainly doing well in Onward. And if you can double up or go 3-0 or even more, that's definitely something to be happy about, which should hopefully give some more pace to the Great Apes. And depending on what objective they actually have here, we can take a look. That could give them a big advantage going into this round. And defending on this north side, not exactly an advantage. If Burning Chrome gets another cap, that is going to be the round win for them. But if they have the pace from the previous round still, they can bring this back in. They can take it nice and smooth. No, that is a dangerous spawn up in the crater. Interesting to see what kind of players do use night vision and which ones don't. You can see two members there running no night vision, a member there running night vision. I guess on Quarantine it is quite a bright map compared to, say, Tanker or what else is dark? Cargo's not particularly dark, so let's call it Downfall 2. Downfall 2 definitely needs night vision. Quarantine is the brightest of the night maps in my opinion, though Downfall though, Bazaar and Suburbia may just about win over that. Oh, this is a dangerous spot here. Tau Cow, he may hear the members approaching from the northern side if they decide to push the roof, though. Section 8 should also be ready for a man in the office block. Lightsteed, he does see him. He does just barely miss his head. That is dangerous, though. There are two members to back him up. Tau Cow, if he rotates from the roof and starts looking for these two men, he's going to be getting them. Appears to be a smoke grenade. That is Snoopfax managing to take down Sled. Looks like he tried to come from the ambulance area, and if his friend follows suit, he's going to end up getting killed. You can see him just peeking over the far, far south hills. That's very dangerous indeed. And Section's starting to push up on this man. He trying to take him down. That I believe is Tao Cow waiting here, rather Lightsteed. That is Lightsteed in the office block, and if that's a nade, it falls just a little bit too short. It is a nade, but it's not, unfortunately, a far enough throw. If that was a nade, that would have been absolutely gorgeous. But anyway, this is starting to be very tense now. Tao Cow is starting to have a member from the south of the roof building approach. He is crouching, so he might not hear him, though. There are a few mic pops coming from him. That should make him somewhat aware. Section 8 is starting to push up now. One man alone. Though Lightsteed does take down Whitestorm. That's a bad pick for the Burning Chrome. Lightsteed does, however, get refragged by Section 8. But Tao Cow, is he rotated up? No, that is Tyler instead, coming from the ravine area. He's getting totally flanked by Section 8 there. He needs to be very wary of the northwest, or he's going to get taken down. Seems to be backing off. There's likely going to be a confrontation between those two relatively soon. And now, Zevin and Tao Cow are on the same roof together. They are totally unaware of each other's presence from the looks of it. Tao Cow is totally blind to it. He's walking through the smoke. Zevin, however, is also totally blind. They're both looking for each other on the roof here, but the smoke is blocking all vision. Tyler does take down Section 8, and now that is just going to leave Zevin up on this roof with Tao Cow. And they are just on opposite sides of this container. This is absurd. What is this? What is going on? How have they not managed to just catch each other yet? Zevin has some idea there's somebody here, but Tao Cow is utterly unknown. And there goes Tao Cow, taken down by Zevin finally, after a long cat and mouse game. And Triggered also managed to get a nice long range shot onto Snooperfax all the way in the burning building there. And that is going to even up to a 2v2. And this is going to be a pretty close round now. Question is, will the Burning Chrome actually be able to pull this round off? It's certainly going to be an uphill battle, although it is possible. Everyone's looking for that man on the western courtyard. Oh, he may have just spotted him. Yes, he did. You can see him kind of reaching to his radio, but no, it's Tyler from the fuselage that manages to catch him instead. He is down. Red Bull can call out both those people, though. That is just now Triggered, left up. Very precarious situation, though. The Great Apes may not even be slightly aware of the location of which he's coming from. They're both just making sure to try and confirm the body on the roof, though unfortunately due to the lip on the roof, certainly not going to happen unless they start to gain elevation, maybe start flying as they stand and pick them off from the skies. But there's a lot of pre-fire. It's just giving away their position. This could be a big issue for them. Section, or rather not Section, Triggered should be able to know exactly where these two members of the Great Apes are as he approaches Burning Building. He has a minute and a half as the last man left on this objective. It is enough time to really do anything he wants to, though it's certainly going to be a very difficult situation either way. Taking the Burning Building so slowly, he doesn't seem to be aware that there are only two men left and they're right next to each other. Possibly they are so close that it sounds like it's the same person shooting. That is entirely possible. But here he goes now. Zevin is still managing to call out everything. That should be why he's kind of changing up his position. If he goes onto the stairs here, he should be able to pick off one man by the roof. Going up the wing there, just on the western side of the roof. If he barely moves, he should be able to catch him. Or if the Irish Gorilla peeks out here, Triggered should also be able to catch him. But he has 40 seconds. He's got to do something. He's reading out the code. Is he thinking of going for a cap? That would be incredibly risky, but both members of the Great Apes are too focused on the northern side. Though Tyler is in a good position to kind of deal with anyone that comes from the south side too. And here he goes. Tyler comes around the corner, gets taken down by Triggered. Triggered has no idea of the Irish Gorilla's location, and that's unfortunately going to be what leads to his demise. Somehow, with all those shots popped off, he still wasn't sure of where he was. The downfall of Great Apes there. They could have had that. The downfall of Burning Chrome there. They could have had that round. They could have brought it to a 3-2, 3-1 rather. But unfortunately, not the case. Now we can take a look at that first round cap here. Take a look at this. It was a very fast action cap from the southern side. The sled managed to just about pick off one from the office block in the southeast there. Then Whitestorm managed to somehow sneak up and take down Irish Gorilla. I'm not entirely sure how. The Great Apes weren't aware that he was coming around. Then Zevin had that nice prone play as he came up the side of the objective. And that is such a strong kind of thing to do. Especially since you're going to allow for a cap. But if that nade hadn't come out, they would have gotten a cap very much faster and safer. They were very lacking of coordination. They weren't sure where each other were. Possibly could be their downfall in the coming rounds. Maybe they'll even lose this map. It'll be a huge comeback. It's entirely within the realm of possibility. Friend. As usual, if there are any issues with the stream, just alert me and I can very quickly fix that. I see there is some talk about clipping in the audio, which is a very easy fix indeed. If there are issues later on during the stream, do not be afraid to alert me, as I can just change a click of a button. They should hopefully be a lot better now, no more clipping. Hopefully. Now we're going to be going into this. What round is this going to be? This is going to be the 5th round. Actually no, it's going to be the 4th round due to that cap. This is also the same objective, of course. It's going to be dangerous for Burning Chrome if the Great Apes can come in for the cap here. It'll be a very uphill battle for them if they can. Well, if they do go for it, but if they can, it'll be a huge boon for them. And they'll be going into the second map with 4 points on the belt, which is certainly nice to, very nice to have.
Oh shit, well I guess I'm going north too. They're all alone over there, buddy. Sorry.
Northern focused offense here is exactly what the Great Apes need. With also their man coming through the motel, you can see him on the map there, coming through the motel, hopefully going to come through the base of the roof. That was actually a pretty good tactic. Who is that there, just on the southern side? That is triggered. This is a very strong position to hold by the ambulance. If he keeps a nice sightline onto the east side of the roof, because there is a sightline just here, if he holds this, he's going to defend this base of the roof entirely, and that's going to be incredibly strong for his team. Unfortunately, it seems like he's more focused on the southeast side of the road. Led is starting to get kind of encircled here. He's staying nice and quiet, nice and low, but there are men coming around from the base of the building. That is Irish Gorilla. Maybe going to try and go for an early cap here. They certainly would expect that. If he goes straight in with no bullets, no nothing, no smokes, maybe he can pull it off. That would be an incredible stealth cap, though. There is only Whitestorm watching the objective bit, and he actually can't see anyone that would approach from this kind of angle, come up to the wall there. There is no way they'd actually manage to catch that, which is so dangerous. These two guys approaching, as long as Sled doesn't hear them and they don't get in the sightline of Whitestorm there, this is definite cap territory. There are so many holes in the defense. Irish Gorilla is picking so wide here. I'm not entirely sure why. He is in the sightline now of Whitestorm, and he should be able to see him as he starts to approach. Irish Gorilla is going to be the one that is silhouetted against the wall here. Noobfax did see Section 8 there, just as he tried to approach this western side, which is going to be a big boon for the Great Apes. Hopefully that will kind of distract Whitestorm. The Gorilla and Tyler, they should have a total free reign to push up to the objective here. He's just madly spraying in. Looks like some shots got popped off. He doesn't see him yet. He does see him moving about now, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. That nade could actually be perfect. It rolls right next to Irish Gorilla. That does take him down. It's an insta-kill nade as well. Now it's going to be Tyler trying to take down the objective. Doesn't work out. No, he does down Zevin. That's going to be a revive coming out very shortly, though. Now, Snooperfax on the western side here is going to be the man to think about. Oh, that's dangerous. White Storm managed to see him. Snooperfax, though, he does prone down. Nice angle. Does manage to pick him up, though. Triggered is having a big confrontation with the other man in the Great Apes by the motel still.
Objective is clear, right?
He's got to be reasonably quick in returning to his team. But it's entirely possible he could stay alive for this and just bring it back for his team. There is also a man on the roof still, amazingly. He could be a big boon for the Great Apes here. I've said it many times now, but he could seriously cause them some issues, some grief. As long as Zevin doesn't see Snooperfax here, he's going to have free reign to the objective, basically. Triggered will mostly be focused on Lightsteed. Maybe Lightsteed's just going to go straight down with that nade. Unfortunately not, but it is Snooperfax who picks off Zevin. Now, if he does have free reign to the objective, though, Sled picks off Taokao. Sled is likely going to rotate to the objective. He did see the man just in the west courtyard there. It's Snooperfax, and he's just being so cautious now. Interestingly, he's picked up the AK-12, going back to the SA-80. He hates it. He did manage to pick off Sled. Now it's just Triggered left on the burning building ruins. He has no way to cover the objective. Snooperfax just needs to go for the objective now. They should know how many are down. They just don't appear to be going for it. Triggered is actually rushing the man Lightsteed on the rock here. They're both looking for each other, though Triggered is not looking for the man that could be going for the objective. He's actually going to burning building instead. I'm not entirely sure what the plan is there, but these two are in a tense standoff. They're right next to each other, and they are both aware of each other's presence. Triggered is trying to go for the man Lightsteed now. It appears Lightsteed, he does only have 45 seconds left, but he's not the last man left, so if he just trades here, that will be the round for the Great Apes, though Snooperfax is still at the burning building ruins. He's not going for the objective, but it does allow him to see Triggered instead of the base of the roof. They take him down, they take that round, though they could have taken the map instead, but unfortunately they do not decide to go for that cap. Very unfortunate. But now you can definitely see that Burning Chrome have had their pace ripped away from them. That early cap doesn't look like the Great Apes are actually going to pull any kind of tactics out. It looks like Burning Chrome is certainly not going to pull out any tactics out of the bag on this round, at least. This map, it's going to be an uphill battle even if they do bring them out. So I think they'll definitely save them if they do have any locked away in storage. Because though they did have that first 2-point cap, it's not really going to be enough to bring them all the way through the match, which Great Apes, with this kind of pace, the general pace they have going right now, it could be enough to pull them back. Here we go into the second round now. I was just thinking about it. If looking back at the previous rounds here, it does appear that these teams are kind of having some issues with coordination, which maybe is something they need to work on, though. Great Apes, they seem to be doing fine even with that. Clearly not very fazed by the initial cap of the first round. Always a good thing to see. The cap on the first kind of on the first map in general, really, not just the first round, can be very demoralizing. And losing your kind of morale mid-match can be absolutely killer. Look at that fire coming across the street. No smokes. They're running straight across using the cover of darkness. And it does work out for them. Irish Gorilla, he's going to have issues with two people here. He should see, or rather hear, Sled popping off those shots from the wing. Zevin throws a nade around. It's going to be too far to actually tackle Irish Gorilla. And if he tries and throws another one round the corner, it's going to be a big issue for him. Zevin's going to prone round. If he doesn't immediately pre-fire this corner, he's going to be the one that gets taken down here. Though Sled also takes down Tyler. That's a good pick for them to have. Losing a man on the objective is very bad for Burning Chrome, though the refrag does come out from Lightsteed. He is resball, so if Irish Gorilla can confirm this kill on Zevin and confirm the kill on Sled, that's going to put the Great Apes up in a very good position. Seems that Zevin was not confident in her peeking this corner. A good decision. Looks like he may also be going for the revive onto Sled. Nade coming out from Section 8. They're not entirely sure who it's directed towards, but Zevin is the man definitely going for the revive here. Irish Gorilla, though, peeking the corner slowly. You can see him just there. He doesn't go for the shots. He couldn't get the very exact fire on him, so he doesn't decide to go for it. And now it's going to be Zevin and Sled. And they're going to get railed the second they come around this corner. Have split up though. That's very good for them, though not exactly going to be very good for the Great Apes, as Taokao gets headshot by Triggered on the burning building. This kind of defense is just collapsing beneath them. This is not going well for them.
South side.
Oh no, Irish Gorilla has made some noise. And now Sled is aware of his presence. He's not looking towards that corner, and Sled's going to come around and just completely decimate him. And that's only going to leave 2 members left. Make that 1 member left, or rather that is a kill onto Burning Chrome, so that's going to be still a 4v2 situation. That's a pick they needed, though. It may not be enough to carry them through this match. You can see Snoopfax letting off those shots, totally unaware of Trigger's location, and he gets taken down and punished because of it. And now that's just going to leave that 1 man up on the Twin Towers on the western side. That's not going to be a particularly good defending location. He's going to have to rotate over, and that's exactly what he's doing. Time to smoke out Burning Building and Objective. Now he does see Trigger, he does take him down, he is resable. That's going to be some really vital information called out. Lightsteed has to finish him off if he wants to defend this objective here. If he doesn't finish him off, that is almost guaranteed doom, as I expect a nade to come flying in very soon. He's relocated his defense position, but he did not finish him off. That is going to be a very large issue for Lightsteed, as he knows he's on the objective. He knows there is no way for him to get out. So Sled, if he just peeks his gun around the corner, holds it around the corner, just over the wall, either one of those, and Lightsteed is very dead. Oh no, Lightsteed doesn't know. He doesn't know that you can cap from this side of the wall. If Sled doesn't peek out too much here, this is going to be a cap for Burning Chrome, taking it to a 4-3. Oh no, he dropped his tablet. Lightsteed knows, he's looking for him, but he's looking the wrong way. He only just sees the very tip of his hand, though Lightsteed does catch onto it at the last second, but no, it's not enough! And he does get the cap off as he has to go for the pistol on him. He is livid, he is just utterly destroyed by that. Oh, that is devastating to see on the side of the Great Apes there. That is devastating. Getting the, you see him, you hesitate a little bit, your gun doesn't fire because you ran out of ammo, you forgot to chamber the gun, you decide to put it away and bring out your pistol, but it's too late. Sled actually got a pretty nice fast cap there. Wow. I can't believe the second to last round, or actually the last round there, was so close. That was a Raider tier cap right there, right in the middle of everybody. Well, right in the middle of the 1 man on objective. But man, what a first map, and it's on Quarantine 2 as well. That's certainly something to be very aware of how these teams could play in future on Quarantine 2. Both playing reasonably well, though. They do need to sharpen up their communications a little bit. But this second map, I'll introduce it to you in just a moment. Four to 3. But this second map now, we can bring that in. Head over to the War Room. This second map is going to be the one, the only, the map I did not predict. Cargo. And of course the Suburbia tanker banned. Also, Subway technically banned as well, due to league rules and it being integrated. But thinking about how these teams could play during this map, I think because of how close quarters it is, we'll see a lot more rushes. Judging by how we've seen them play, I think they won't be too coordinated with them. I think they'll stay relatively lone wolfing it, kind of hanging about at the back with one guy watching the flank, the other guy spreading out, pushing kind of one guy up, then another guy will kind of see that, he'll push up, another guy will see that, and it just loops off that. It can work out pretty well, and you can see it obviously did work out pretty well for the Burning Chrome right there. But this is, of course, the Great Apes map pick here. Cargo picked by the Great Apes, which is the team that banned Tanker. Them being sister maps, of course. Tanker being the remake of Cargo, which was originally Tanker. This is a long story if you're not aware of it. But it's still a very good map. Not as dark as Tanker. Not as dark as Quarantine 2, that's for certain. But there will be some differences between them. But I definitely will expect some rushes. I'll expect maybe some shield play. I do not entirely expect it, but I'm expecting it deep within my heart. I would like to see shield play coming out from both of these teams here. And this is going to be hopping in now to the round. It's going to be starting off with the northern objective, and you can see this as we hop in here. This is the first round of the second map. That northern objective, that could be dangerous, but I don't see any shields so far on the side of the Great Apes. Maybe they'll come out later, maybe they're not fans. But we do see the SA-80. That's going to be giving out a lot of fire. The AK-5C with the SA-80 mag. That's a dangerous combo. Also very dangerous with the AK-5C. Peeking this corner, this could be so dangerous. But I does see that. A trigger managed to catch two. Both a headshot to Thailander down onto Irish Gorilla. Now it's Snoopfax going to be looking for Sled through the gap. You don't see him. He does just about trade with him. That's going to be unfortunately a double trade. No one winning there. No revives possible. Now it's just Whitestorm left to defend along with Triggered this centre side. Only two men left on the side of the Great Apes. This is in fact a Volk rush we're seeing. And a team kill from Tau Cow onto Lightsteed takes him down. Tau Cow is livid.
Alright guys, I'm sorry. God damn it. Alright, let's go shopping. So Light, if you felt bad about that, imagine.
He murders his teammate, he steals his weaponry. Tau Cow, a true monster. But now, he's in a very tough position here. Being the one man left alone on this team. The one man left to attack four members of Burning Chrome. This is not going to be easy in any sense of the word. He's going to have to deal with two men close up in front of him. That is going to be, of course, Triggered on the western side and just up ahead of him, Whitestorm. Two very contendable people. Though he does have the SA-80 on hand already. Likely going to be sprayed several times. All over the map. And there you go. Unfortunately, not enough to actually deal with the members watching over him from other angles. And he just goes down, unfortunate. One man left. Not really much you can do against four others. Great Apes only managing to pick up one member of the enemy team there. Very unfortunate to see. Those early double picks from the man in the west, Triggered, was so just detrimental to the Great Apes. Along with a rush on the eastern side by Sled, it totally destroyed any kind of pace that the Great Apes wanted to start off with. They lost their men on the west. That's two-fifths. Yeah, two-fifths of their team dead. Maths is hard. Then you have the guys on the east, that's another fifth of their team dead. You have the team kill on top of that. The morale is totally gone by this point. And he's the one man left against four others with no real pace. He has no idea where the enemies are, no idea how many are left. It's a very tough situation to be in. Not really much you can do about it, but Regardless, it's Burning Chrome who take that round. They take it solidly. I imagine we'll see kind of similar things coming out on the future rounds, which is going to be starting now, in fact. Likely we'll see some very nice players coming out from them, or at least I hope so.
Section, where are you going?
I'm going far left up the tunnel.
Both teams somewhat quiet. They're just making sure they know where they are. We are seeing some smokes. I believe that's the smoke. Yes, they are going to be ready for this. They want to try and get in position. That looks like actually almost a perfect smoke, but it bounced off the wall, and there's lots of fire already coming out as Talcal gets down by Triggered.
One's in that corner.
He is aware of his location. He's called him out. He doesn't realize he's down. It's going to be Zevin likely going to rush him up, try and take him down. Stupefax goes down next to the objective, and a nade comes out from Sled. Now could go directly on top of Lightspeed. It lands just on the other side of the building. It's Lightspeed rushes out and trades with him. Very unfortunate. Sled getting a nice headshot onto him as he rushes out. And Whitestorm also takes down Talcal with a nice headshot. That only leaves 2 men left on the side of Great Apes. Burning Chrome on fire. That's going to also have Tyler down. He's rushing in. Whitestorm's going straight in with this smoke. He throws it right next to Irish Gorilla. And he's going to try and go for the cap here. Irish Gorilla, though, on the objective, managed to take down Zevin. He's going to be looking for Section. He does see Section. He's going to be rushing him, trying to get around this corner and take him down. Zevin crouches, or rather Section crouches. And it takes Irish Gorilla off guard, and they take that round very quickly and relatively cleanly. The Tau Cow there, unfortunately, not able to get off the team kill from his leaderboard right there. If I were him right now, I'd be taking off my helmet, I'd be putting it back on. That team kill never happened. Didn't happen. You can't tell me it did. You have no proof whatsoever. The VOD's getting wiped. You're not going to see it. Though you can definitely see what kind of playstyle Burning Chrome is going for on this map here. We are going to be going into a new objective, and that's going to be the southwest objective, a very dangerous and open one. If Great Apes manage to take this with a cap, Burning Chrome's going to do the exact same thing, I believe. They're going to be going straight in like they have the previous rounds. They're not going to let up on the Great Apes. They're going to try and take this as quickly as possible. Their coordination looking a lot better, really, on this this much smaller map. A little bit of a false start there. Seems there were some issues on one side or another. Hopefully we should be hopping into this third round very shortly. I do not believe there'll be too many major issues during this league match, though unexpected things can always pop up. You never know. In fact, it's probably a good idea eventually, if you're like really high up in the league, say you're on like Globacam, to just have 2 headsets, which I'm pretty sure Globacam does anyway. They all had Vives initially, and now they have Rifts. Oysters. Sponsored by Burning Chrome. They love their oysters. It's their team chant, and they're going straight in now. That smoke, thought it was a nade for a second. That would have been dangerous. Oh, and he throws it straight back. That's insult to injury. Talcal takes down Sled. This defense not looking so hot. It's playing pretty tight. Though the Great Apes, they're playing reasonably well. Flash doesn't do anything. Very unfortunate though. Trigger's looking for a man on the east. He should be able to see the man behind the crate. He does get tagged, has to heal. Though he should be looking to pre-fire straight through there with that AK-12. Unfortunately, he doesn't, and it's Irish Gorilla who downs him instead and Triggered. Rather than Snooperfax takes down Section 8, though. The Martyrdom frag comes down and takes him down. And that's going to be a revive from Whitestorm as well. Section 8 would have been able to see both of them cross over here. That's both revives, both have information on each other. Lot of suppressive fire. Snooperfax, though, does pick off the vital man, Section 8 there. Now it's only a 2v5. this situation has massively changed as Zevin gets down, trading with Snoofax, who does get insta-gibbed by having to get picked up just earlier. White Storm's going to be in a very precarious situation with the Irish Gorilla here. If he peeks his corner, he should see him. He doesn't see him. No, he does. And he takes him down with a headshot through the metal grating. They surprisingly have not gone for the revive. Well, just as I say it, they are going for the revive on to Triggered now. That's going to be a vital pickup for them. They're all rotating away from the objective. What is this? It's like they didn't have... Like, neither of them have a syringe. They're walking straight out in the open here. They haven't been picked off. That's amazing. He's picking up a syringe from the other side. Zevin does manage to see Tyler. They get the revive up, and now it's Zevin trying to deal with Tyler and Lightsteed on that center side. Tapcow coming up from the west as well. Lightsteed is going straight in, straight towards the objective. He does walk straight through. Remember, he's right inside of him, but gets taken down by White Storm. And now Tapcow slowly peeking through that tunnel. It's going to be an issue later on. Tyler does bring out that shield. No laser sight, though. He does have a, well, looks like an M1911. It doesn't matter anymore. He's gone. And now it's just Tapcow, just the man left, just going through this tunnel. Just desperate to try and take down members of Burning Chrome. He has wiped that -1 off his board. So he's not going to be too desperate for a kill now, though. He certainly wants to clutch this for his team and make up for it fully. You can see White Storm pops off those shots. The rest of Burning Chrome now aware of his location. He's got to be incredibly careful no matter what he does at this point. He needs to move quickly. He needs to reposition. He's in a tough location. It looks like he's reading out the code as Triggered and Zevin are both rushing him. This is a big mistake. He's going for a smoke play. Trigger, though, he does see him from the other side of the map and takes him down. That's going to be the third round for Burning Chrome. They're on a rampage, and I suspect that will continue into a cap next round. That's my prediction. Seems there was a bit of a disconnect on the side of the Great Apes there. Not during the round though, so it should not be too big of an issue though. Maybe there were some issues with like performance and they decided to very quickly restart their client while they kind of just have a nice relaxing planning session on the board in the tent. So while we have that time, we might as well go and take a look at some of the replays. We're going to take a look at the replay from the first round of Quarantine 2. This is the cap from Burning Chrome, a very close one. You can see them quite disorganized and trying to attack this objective. White Storm goes for it. You can see he looks at his tablet, so Zevin gives up on it. He knows he's going for it. And just as he takes him down, he gets the cap. Very unfortunate for Zevin right there. We also have this kind of defense from the members of Burning Chrome here. Doesn't really work out, and there were some very unlucky angles coming out. Snoopfact was aiming for White Storm there, and he got taken down, and he takes down rather Zevin just behind him. Definitely unfortunate. And look at that, he just barely pulls his gun up. Very unfortunate. But it looks like Irish Gorilla's back in. We should be hopping in very shortly. Maybe we can hopefully take a look at a few more clips. This is the double kill, I believe, just back here. Where is this double kill? Oh no, this is the cap. Here you go. The cap from the Burning Chrome. Like I said, he was just next to it. I'm surprised he didn't see. You can see him fumble with his gun. Goes to the cap, he sees him, his gun kind of doesn't fire. He has to pull out his pistol. He pulls out alarmingly quickly, but it's not enough, and you can see him throwing his guns at the ground in pure and utter anger. While we wait for this round to start up, I will very quickly just bring you some relaxing music while we wait for the teams to be nice and ready for this. There were the tech issues, and the auto start is currently broken right now, so I can alert them as well of the time. here we are into this fourth round now. This is the fourth round of the second map. It looks like Burning Chrome again huddling. And I said pearls now. We're off of oysters. Or whatever it was, they're onto pearls now. That is a very long smoke. Going totally the wrong direction for where he actually wanted it though. I imagine he wanted to smoke out this crossing, but it's not going to be where it goes at all. Fire coming out from Lightsteed and Zection here. A little bit of a trading fire. Whitestorm, he shoots Trigger in the back. What is he doing? He's a murderer. He picks up his smoke and he continues on with his journey. What an absolute cold-blooded killer. That nade coming out of Whitestorm runs out there. Oh, he's very lucky. Good timing there. Sled get picked off by Snooper. Now Zevin looking for the refrag though. It's Lightsteed who does come out and does manage to tag Zection. And Snooper picks up Zevin while Whitestorm manages to clean up Lightsteed as well. That is going to leave for 1v4. Burning Chrome. I predicted the cap and it's totally collapsed. I'm very sorry for the curse. It's not working out at all. So it definitely appears that Great Apes now, they are looking to take this and they're taking it well so far. Whitestorm just walks straight in. Taocow has no idea. How do you not know? And it's a trade, unfortunately. A headshot and a down between Taocow and Whitestorm. And the Great Apes, they finally put themselves on the board. Now, Burning Chrome again having some technical difficulties unlike the Great Apes of the previous round. Seems a lot of tech issues during cargo just at the very tail end of it, but that was a really nice round by the Great Apes. Having those 3 picks just back to back at the just about the start of the round was super vital for them. It allowed them to just completely roll over what little remains of Burning Chrome. That's going to hopefully take away some of their pace and we'll be going into a very exciting remaining map here. Maybe we'll see them go on a 2-point roll and bring it to a 3-3. They did almost do that with the Quarantine 2 map. Though, hopefully Burning Chrome does get a revenge cap at the very end of it. That would be unfortunate. Here we go now. This is the 5th round, I believe. Yes, it is the 5th round. This could be the one that makes the comeback, that marks the comeback for the Great Apes. This could be their saving grace. This could be their holy grail of Onward right here. If Sled isn't too big of a disruption, Great Apes is going to be in a very, very good way indeed. But they appear to be kind of bunching up in spawn right next to each other. If a nade comes from Burning Chrome, it would be devastating. Team Snooperfax is going to be the one that starts to make their move now up on the eastern side. Not much movement so far from the Great Apes, drastically slowing down on all fronts. Maybe they've got their head back in the game. Maybe this is how they usually play and they were just off for the previous rounds. That is entirely possible. That kind of stuff happens pretty often. But either way, they have no information on where the members of Burning Chrome have gotten into, which is very dangerous indeed. The smoke's starting to pop. That is totally off target.
Well, that was a fail.
Indeed it was, Sleepfax. But we're starting to see some almost Legionnaires kind of moves here. 2 members prone on the center and west. Led, if he beeps his radio here, Snoopfax is going to be totally aware of it. No, he's staying silent. Definitely the correct decision here. If someone else comes in, it could be devastating. Looking for Section 8. He knows there should be someone over there. Though, because Section 8 is behind the barrels, he won't really be able to actually catch him, which is very unfortunate. But maybe by some kind of stroke of luck, he'll be able to see him poking out just barely. But White Storm, in any case, is going to be the main obstacle for Snooperfax here. Sled's mostly focused on the approach of Tyler and Talcow, which is a pretty good angle to hold, actually, though he would have to move up slightly more. Unfortunately, that's not the correct angle to do it. Some shots coming from White Storm over towards Lightsteed, quite similar names, and Nade comes out as Zection takes down Snooperfax, and Triggered also takes down Irish Gorilla. White Storm didn't realize he threw his nade so close. That could have almost have been a self-kill, a suicide with a nade. And here goes Sled and manages to take down Lightsteed as he rushes in, and now it's just 2 members left on the side of Great Apes. Any kind of pace they had from the previous round is gone. Totally just disappeared in the wind, and Sled kills White Storm. More team kills coming out. Tyler and Talcow rather. They have the ammunition. Not sure if they have the utility. I'm not sure they have the kind of time to take this. They appear to be taking it quite slowly for cargo. I don't think they have the nade throwing skills either. 2 failed nades on the eastern side now, not so hot. But they should still have some remaining utility. A little bit of a dangerous nade coming out from Zection there, though unfortunately not going quite far enough. Sled is looking for anyone crossing over though. He managed to miss, very luckily, Talcow. Talcow's going to be the one looking for Triggered here. If he sees his head poke over, he's going to be the one going down. But unfortunately, it's Triggered instead, who peeks around the box and takes him down, leaving just Tyler to defend, or rather attack, this eastern side. He's coming all round. Tyler is aware of the time, but he's being so cautious of his behind here. Sled, there was some footsteps coming out from him that may have spooked Tyler, though it shouldn't be too big of a factor. He only has 1:45 left. He needs to do something. He's the last man left against 4 others. No matter what he does, really, it's going to be incredibly difficult for him to pull anything off. I think his best choice here is to go through the tunnel, because with Sled watching this angle, Zection also watching this angle, and Zevon and Triggered covering center, you have to kind of maneuver to the western side, though he's not aware of this. He doesn't know where these members are. He knows where Zection is, knows where Sled is, but the other 2 are a mystery. For all he knows, they could be sitting in the tunnel waiting for him. Goes Tyler now. He's starting his attack now, his desperate last attack with 60 seconds remaining. Zection should hopefully be calling him in relatively soon, though may not be enough. There is a nade coming out from Zection. He hears it. It was a whip nade. It was a flash, actually. He rushes in, blindly spraying. He has no idea, and Zection just comes in from behind and takes him down. That's going to be the second map also to Burning Chrome. And Triggered playing so well during that map there. 5-1 on this leaderboard. You may have just caught a glimpse of it as we went into the end of the round there. But I'm interested to see what a final map could be. I'm kind of feeling a downfall. Maybe we'll see Bazaar instead. The final, well, what could be the final map. Maybe it could be, as I said, downfall. Though I definitely want to see some Bazaar. As you can see, 4-2 so far. The Great Apes doing pretty well indeed. Not the Great Apes, rather Burning Chrome doing pretty well indeed. Here's a relatively close one though, in terms of the quarantine. Maybe we'll see the same on this final map now that the pressure has been released. No more is Great Apes kind of fighting for, we gotta win this match now. They are mostly pressure free. They can just go, hey, we've already lost the match rather, so let's just kind of relax. Let's just take this as best as we can, nice and relaxed like. But we can hide, that we can now show what is going to be this final map. For the third map's going to be Bazaar. Of course, you can see the bands there. Suburbia did come from Burning Chrome, as I've said. Tanker from the Great Apes, in case you joined us recently. With Subway out of rotation for this week, due to it being changed 2 weeks ago in the 1.4 patch. Going into Bazaar, this is likely going to be very interesting. It's starting off with an ice cream objective, and considering the aggressiveness we've seen from Burning Chrome here, and this is their map pick of course, it'd be very interesting to see if they decide to go for a hard push on the objective cut. If they get the western spawn, if they get the eastern spawn, maybe we'll see a hard push coming up the eastern side. I'm not entirely sure, but I would like to see it indeed. Maybe that's just a personal preference, because I do love my fast playstyles. I do love them very much indeed. So while we're waiting, so there are some technical difficulties yet again on the side of the Great Apes. They're having some technical difficulties, as I said, and their man is reconnecting. So while we're waiting for that, you can enjoy the serene sounds of the Onward Master League waiting screen. Here we are hopping in to the first round of the third and final map. Burning Chrome has already won the series though. This is going to be the third map for the MMR. Great Apes, they could claw back some of what they lost, but if they can take this map, that'll be a big boon for them, as the difference of MMR between the two teams here, it's pretty extreme. The Great Apes 40 MMR below Burning Chrome. That is huge. So if they manage to take down this map, that should be a pretty big boon for them during this during the MMR kind of subtraction later on. Very dangerous cross from Zevon here. He actually did almost get caught doing it, and he's doing this kind of southwest push totally alone. This is incredibly different from what you'd normally see teams smoking it out, moving together as one coming across. They're doing it totally alone, which is very, very rare. Dangerous shots ringing out there. Not sure who they were exactly aimed towards. And this is a very uncommon position from Taucow. Nobody really comes up here, but it gives such a good sight over the entirety of the southeast courtyard that I think more people should be able to, should really be using it later on in the next matches in the league. And Snoopfax, well, I think he just held the gun over his head and popped shots straight over to get the headshot into Whitestorm there. That's very impressive. They are getting Sled crossing over. That should be a man that's going to be having some issues with him later on. But Zection and Zevon, they're starting to link up at the two-story now. The Double Z duo starting to make some chaos here. Purple Highway, he did sub in, I believe, for another member of the Great Apes. He is a very, very good player, so Great Apes, they should have some things coming their way. Maybe good things, maybe bad things, but they're certainly different from what's happening during the previous rounds. Oh, Purple Highway does peek out. He does take down Zevon. A good peek there, though it was pretty risky as it's triggered and managed to take down Purple Highway, though the refrag immediately comes out from Taucow and takes him down too. But there's a man on top of objective now. Zection could go inside the building and go for the cap now, or rather he's in the two-story, not on the objective. That is much safer. Though there still isn't one on objective though. Snoopfax is coming in, he's clearing it, and there should be no imminent danger to the Great Apes now. But Zection is certainly looking for Irish Gorilla. You can see him looking through the window there. What kind of angle was that? Oh wow, okay. That's a very interesting one. He stood on top of the objective bit. Very risky to get him through the window. That's not something I'd ever expect. Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting one to see, for sure. That's exactly what he needed to get that pick, because the man was so focused on keeping an eye on the building that the Irish Gorilla was in, that he just certainly didn't expect him to peek through the window that was on the second floor next to him. I certainly didn't. This is a very dangerous game that Sled is playing here. Though he has managed to evade Irish Gorilla, barely. He's going to have to deal with Taucow inside the southeast courtyard here. But if Taucow keeps kind of running about like this, he should get taken down by Sled. Though Sled just needs to keep his eyes open, and keeping his eyes open he does. As he takes him down, though, Taucow is going to call it out. The shots also ring very loud across the map. Interestingly, Sled not running a foregrip or a suppressor. That's a very interesting choice, especially on MK18. Very rare to see that. But now Sled is a man that's going to be coming across here. Got to be very careful on the south side. He's got 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining, and he has two members of the Great Apes that he's going to have to go against. If he rotates about very quickly, it doesn't matter though. No matter what he does, it's going to be Irish Gorilla who managed to tag him, and we're inside a secret part of the map, and we cannot get out of it. There we go. The Great Apes, they took that kind of clearly. They had some issues, but that nice rotation and the actions of Purple Highway on the objective, kind of stopping the two-story rush, was very nice to see. We're going to be hopping into the scoreboard very quickly just to make a quick correction. It was not, in fact, 4-2 on cargo. It was 4-1 on cargo. There you go. I'm going to put that in now just because we can. There you go. Back to the scoreboard now. You can see pretty even so far. No one is really leading for the team right now. Either team, to be exact. Now, looking back on it, we could actually take a look at some more replays. We should have enough time. So what have we got sitting in the repertoire? Apparently we have nothing sitting in the repertoire, because just as I say that, they're going and hopping in to the second round of Bazaar.
Get what were you saying?
I'll go right.
Hey, Sled. I can go left. Where's Sled?
We haven't seen any huddles just yet.
Nobody wants to be suppressing us. Suppressing this.
Great Apes, though, acting a little bit like a pigeon scavenging mags off the floor. Oh, Tyler's lost his tablet. Luckily, he did manage to realise that he dropped it. Losing your tablet as Marsok is not what you want, especially if you end up going for a cap later on down the match. That's an aggressive move from the man on the side of Burning Chrome here, Whitestorm, pushing up to the kind of, what do you call this? The Smiles position. Smiles, though, you know, he normally pushes there. So let's call this the Whitestorm position. He's making a little bit of noise, adjusting his headset there. There is a man making that, two men taken down by the Great Apes very quickly at the same time. Both the Z's taken down, Zection and Zevin. There's actually nobody on objective on the side of Burning Chrome right now. That's dangerous. And Triggered, and also another member of the Great Apes, having a little bit of a fire trade across the map here. What happened there? Purple Highway is losing his mind, but Tyler at least does manage to take down Sled as he makes some nice snaky moves, very Legionnaires-esque, coming up the western side here. Maybe Sled got a little bit too aggressive. You can see his corpse just by the car there. That is definitely a bit too aggressive, considering there is no men on the objective currently. With these guys coming up from the southern side, that could be so dangerous. It appears Purple Highway has lost tracking. That's why his model was going mental. Luckily, not too big of an issue for the devs themselves. That's on Oculus. That's the hardware issue. It's not their fault. They don't have to worry about it. But Stupefax and also Irish Gorilla are in a very good position to actually go for the objective here. The smoke unfortunately fails, goes inside of the doorway. But there's only one man left on the side of Burning Chrome. Not sure how Whitestorm went down. May have been a drop, actually. I believe it was a drop. Talcal, though, picks up Triggered. Nice. Very nice long range shot, actually, with the MK18 getting a headshot onto the last defender. And again, they're taking that relatively cleanly. So far, not any real major issues for the Great Apes on Bazaar, though they did have a few teething issues on that first round. Getting that double kill at the start, though, that was so important for them. And getting another kill later on, just as a Sled trying to push up, that was also exactly what they needed. But again, it appears some more technical difficulties, and the Great Apes member has had to disconnect. Hopefully not going to be too long coming back in, but I've run out of things to talk about. I'm missing it here. I've run out of things to talk about, so I'm afraid you are going to have to listen to Onward VRML radio yet again.
round?
Yeah, I shot the dude in my
Here we go, we're back in. There's already discussion on kills. They're ready for it. They want to take this third round. They want to give themselves the 3-0 lead over Burning Chrome on this final comeback map. And I believe they can do it. I do believe so. Maybe I've cursed them by saying that like I cursed Burning Chrome during Quarantine 2. Hopefully not. But I might have. I'm very sorry. Already getting some shots from Whitestorm there. That's very quick action straight out of the gate. And he's looking for Section A. He does unfortunately get spotted through the window, very tight angle. He can't hit him, however. He does suppress him. Counter suppression coming up, and this is a very interesting composition. If we take a look at the map here, we have 3 men inside the western courtyard and 2 on the objective. This is incredibly aggressive defense, or rather, it's an aggressive passive defense, a passive aggressive defense, you may say.
One went north of Bazaar.
They're peeking these angles very aggressively, though their positions themselves are rather passive. So much fire coming out already, and they've been forced to use them or waste their smokes against the current defense of the great Apes. Led's starting to push up on Tyler now. He wants to deal with him along with Trigger. They want to deal with these men in the courtyard, though Tyler is rushing straight out from the looks of it. Whitestorm does take down Snooperfax, and now it's going to be the man. They're trading with each other, Triggered and also Tyler. They really want each other dead, though he does manage to duck out in time. And it's going to be the one Tyler is going to get likely drop shot by Sled, and there he goes. A revive from Zevin picking up Section in his body. Now, unfortunately, not lasting too long as Purple Highway picks him back up, and now it's 3v4 situation. There is still one man on the side of the Great Apes. Or other, he's rotated back on the western side, and again, Purple Highway picks up Section.
I'm pretty sure.
He doesn't exactly know he has picked him up, but unfortunately, though, there are so many people shooting over towards him. Yet, but Triggered headshot Talcow. Purple Highway picks up Triggered, and now it's just Whitestorm and also the man Sled himself as he tries to push up to the objective. Impressive fire coming out from him there. Whitestorm, he's got to get some cover fire for Sled. He just needs to continue with that fire, distract Purple Highway, and he should be able to sneak straight in. I can see Sled picks off Purple Highway there. If Sled rushes in now, this is cap territory. He just needs to be as quick as possible. Purple Highway, not Purple Highway, Irish Gorilla is taking some shots from Whitestorm, and unfortunately, that's going to be the round loss for the Great Apes as he just comes in from the behinds and takes them all down. Now you can definitely see the damage that Purple Highway did that round, though unfortunately it couldn't win them the rap. He totally shut down that western side push, taking down the double Z's, Zection and Zevin. I think that would have been a lot riskier, a lot more dangerous for Burning Chrome if that, a lot more risky and dangerous for the Great Apes rather than being such a kind of close trade almost a trade. Unfortunately, he just couldn't get the kills he needed, rather the rotation he needed. He didn't look the right way at the right time. That's what I'm trying to say here. Very unfortunate. Hopefully they'll be able to pull that back. Since Burning Chrome have won this, they've destroyed their perfect 50% win rate. They're going from 5-5 to 6-5, which is good for them, though it does unfortunately break the symmetry. Damn it, Burning Chrome. Why couldn't you make this one a draw? Don't think that's even possible with the current rules, but damn it. Keep the nice even numbers.
I'll be just in front. I'll be just in front.
Going to Bazaar.
Where are we? Yeah. Oh shit, yeah. Alright.
A standard rollout yet again, nothing special coming out from either side though. If we see some more aggressive moves like we did earlier, that'll be shocking to say the least, and it may be very effective. And as I say, aggressive moves What kind of move is this from Sled? He's pushing up so aggressively up the western side. He's going to be dealing with Irish Gorilla here. They trade, and unfortunately both of them are resible. That's going to be a big advantage for the Great Apes, since they can get this revive very quick. But Zevin's coming in. Zevin might just barely be able to do it. Purple Highway's going for the revive. Zevin needs to peek this quickly, or Sled's going to get picked off on Zevin along with it. Zevin does manage to pick up Irish Gorilla. He may not expect Purple Highway to be just around that corner.
I took one out, but we lost Sled.
So hopefully he will hear some noise coming out from him. Purple Highway cannot be totally silent. But Zevin's out of there. Also a very good decision. He's backing off. But it appears Burning Chrome also lost. Remember, he's down on pallets. That's not what they need right now. What is Taocow doing all the way up in the northeast? Seems he was looking for a man up on the northwest side. Unfortunately, it looks like he's ducking back to cover the street, so he's not going to actually see him. Though it could have worked for a time.
It's friendly over here.
Much action going on right now, though there is suppressive fire coming out from Stupefact on the west along with the smoke. This is a 4v4 as they did manage to get the revive on to White Storm. But so far it seems like they're just looking for picks, not really looking for any kind of structured play right now. There is a lot of suppressive fire coming out, though it seems to be mostly incidental rather than coordinated. They still can just have just as good an effect as Zection picks up Tyler with a nice close engagement right there with the Tar 21. Not my favourite weapon, but this is looking good for Burning Chrome. Snoopfax also taken down by Zevin. The Z is doing work as usual.
Yeah, very. And he's through the fence, so I don't know if that's a lump or I don't know what the fuck.
Seems White Storm and Zevin are both confused as to whether there's actually an enemy. He definitely did, but White Storm's going to be seemingly saving a nade. He's not going to throw it over there. Probably a good decision. The smokes are now flying onto the objective. This is only 2 men left on the side of the Great Apes, but Taocow's in such a good position here. He's behind the defense of Burning Chrome. He's way up in the northwest, and he could, in theory, tag men as they try to rush and collapse in on the objective if Purple Highway plays his cards correctly. But Taocow's going hard in now. He could have an engagement with Zevin very shortly. Unfortunately, it's Purple Highway that gets picked off. He got a bit too aggressive and Section 8 takes him down. But Zevin, the other Z, is taken down. And he's rushing the objective right now. He could be going for a cap here. He's in fact going for a cap. Taocow's being so careful about it though. Perfect flash! Blinds Taocow and gives away his position as he sprays blindly. White Storm's going to be rushing him now, but he takes out his gun just at the wrong time. And Burning Chrome bring it back to all. That flash from White Storm right there, that was absolutely perfect. That was exactly what they needed to prevent Taocow from capping, because they had no way of knowing that Taocow was in there. It looked like they were kind of holding off because White Storm didn't know he was there. Because of the smoke had the audio cover, had the visual cover. Taocow, he should have been safe, but that flash looked totally just blind, throwing it, hoping it got somebody, and it did. It got him. It stopped him from capping. It gave away his location. It was perfect. Seems a minor tech issue there. Zevin instantly back in though, so no issues. I want to see that flash play again, so let's take a look at it in the replay. That's not the right one. There we go, that's the right one here. He rushes in the objective. White Storm doesn't know he's there. He doesn't have the audio cover. But then the flash lands perfectly in front of him. A nade a little bit short though. It worked to spook him a little bit. That's all that matters, spooking. Here we are, we're going into this round now. This is the 5th round of the 3rd and final map. This could be potentially the final round if Burning Chrome decide to go for a cap here. It'd be risky, but it's possible. They could bring this to a 4-2 like they did with Quarantine 2, or the other way around. But it's possible. Looper's looking for somebody. He's not going to catch me. Does he? Just crossing the road. Actually, he does take them down. It's a very nice early 25-second pick. That's exactly what the Great Apes need to start off with here. He does have to be very careful of Section 8 in the southeast courtyard, though. If he's not aware of him, he's going to get picked the second he stands up. Oh, it's a good position. Trigger, though, he does pick up Snooperfax from that kind of second floor, and Sled's going to finish him off from behind, but no. He missed all of his shots. He goes to confirm again, and he misses them again. What is going on? He's going for the nade on it, though. Not entirely sure if that was good enough. It did look to be right next to it. Yes, it is. It gets him finally confirmed after unloading half a mag into him. And if Sled goes into this building, he's going to be in big danger, because the Irish Gorilla is waiting just around the corner. He's coming in from north. This is looking a lot more coordinated than previously. Unfortunately, it does bounce off there, though. It goes right on to Tyler. This is kind of what Burning Chrome want right here. This is looking really good from the northern side so far. This should allow Zevin to just slip in as long as he can deal with Tyler, which is kind of a difficult thing to do. Though if he gets a nade in here, it should be absolutely perfect. We also have Triggered and Talco having a face-off here. Though Talco's not looking the right way, and he gets punished because of it. And now it's going to be the man, Tyler, trying to defend this northern side. It's an uphill battle, that's for certain, but Irish Gorilla has his eastern covered. And here goes Zevin, he's looking to go in. Tyler comes out, Trigger takes down Talco, and Irish gets the refrag onto Sled. He should see Zection. He does see Zection. He goes for the flank on him. He takes him down, and Zevin does manage to pick up Tyler. And now this is the collapse on the objective. Irish Gorilla has to come in. He has to cover the objective to prevent a cap. But so far, it looks like Burning Chrome got spooked by those kills, and they have slowed down a lot. Zevin has to deal with Purple Highway. If he takes him down, this is the cap easily. Purple Highway has heard Zevin. He heard his kind of breathing. You can see him just twitching his head over towards this right side several times. Oh, Irish Gorilla gets headshot by Trigger. That's exactly what they need. Purple Highway's going to rush out here, but he checks his tablet just at the wrong time. And Purple Highway's the one that takes him down. And now this has gone from a 1v2 to a 1v1. But it doesn't matter, as Trigger is waiting with that M249 and takes him down. And it's going to take it to a 3-2. Now this will definitely be the deciding round. If Great Apes can't get some early picks, Burning Chrome will absolutely take this. It's the same objective, which could be a little bit dangerous if the Great Apes get their coordination up. But getting their coordination up, I think, is going to be very difficult to do on the final round of the final map, where they have already lost the match, really, which can be very demoralizing, and a lack of morale is not what you want for a communication. It's not useful for it. It's very difficult. They're going straight into what could be the final round now. There is no messing about here. They're certainly very ready. Let's see what the Great Apes is thinking here.
Bring it in.
Oh, never mind. This is more important. Oysters from Burning Chrome. They're happy about this and they're ready to go. So am I. I'm pumped up now. They've given me their energy. 3 AM and I'm already more awake than ever. Almost 4 AM actually. Well, let's do this. I'm rooting for Burning Chrome and also the Great Apes at the same time to prevent any kind of curses from unleashing. Great Apes is putting some suppressive fire across over towards the objective. Not going to do anything though. Zaction also getting some counter suppressive fire. Interestingly, using the G3, not the G3 Auto. G3 Auto is kind of better in every way, really. Lots of suppressive fire still coming out. SA-80s, G3s, everything.
I'm gonna pop a smoke right here in front.
They're starting to pop the smokes though. They want to try and get up towards the south of the market. So much suppressive fire. This is exactly what they need to cover the approach here. You also have the men on the east. They're going to be having some contact with Section 8. And never mind, it's Section 8 who has some contact with them as they get taken down. And now, 3 men, they're going to start pushing up towards the south of Center Market now. They just need to start making their move, and this could be very good for them. They have that early pick like I was talking about. So they stand a good chance of actually being able to take this. They just need to come in from the northern side because there's no one really defending from any kind of northern offenders. But if Slick can manage to pick off one guy here on their push coming in, that'll be devastating. Oh, Tyler almost take down White Storm as he tried to cross over. This is a very suppressive, oppressive almost attack coming out here. And Zevin picks up Tau Cow, got a little bit too aggressive, and Stupefax does pick up Triggers. He tries to push out as well. Again, a little bit too aggressive, very unfortunate.
Yeah, it was right at the sign last time.
And now Purple Highway. He's going to be the one along with Irish Gorilla going straight in. Irish Gorilla does pick up Sled. He confirms him as well. He's going on to the objective. White Storm also getting taken down. He's on a rampage. He almost gets team killed. He's going for the cap. There is a man coming around the corner. He misses him. Zevin has no idea. He's very quickly capping, but it's not going to be enough. Very unfortunate. But they will take this to a climactic 3-3. It appears Burning Chrome and the Great Apes both had been pumped up. They felt my energy exuding through the casting setup, seeping into every kind of fibre in their body after I felt Burning Chrome's huddle at the start of previous rounds. My god, look at Irish Gorilla. 10-3. He's not messing about during this match. That rush onto the objective was almost perfect. He could have gotten the cap there, but unfortunately his team just... they were very antsy because he was literally right next to the capper. So he must have thought, he's right next to it, might as well go for the kill, confirm it rather than losing a guy, possibly losing the whole map. Or rather the whole round and thus the map. Now this will be the final round. This is the one for some of the marbles, not all of them, but some of them for sure.
You know what we do like?
Oysters!
Hey, 9036 248.
Burning Chrome is still happy. Sled has dropped his tablet again, having to pick it back up. Hopefully not going to have a not ready moment where he starts throwing it about the map for the, like 40 seconds. Not a good moment to watch, but it's a clip on the Onward Master League channel if you wish to watch it. I believe it's about 2 weeks old by now.
Alright, I'm gonna be in blue room.
Night vision on bizarre daytime, I think that may be a loadout error. But with this quick spawn, well, it's not a quick spawn, it's a pseudo quick spawn, southwest versus northwest.
Okay, what else?
They have the potential to be able to defend this well, but either way,
You're good.
whoever gets the first pick will likely decide who wins this map. And I think that has already been cast, the die has been cast, the curse has been laid, and it's the Great Apes who are going to take this defense. As Burning Chrome, they've already lost a member. That was Zection. Looks like he just got picked because Tyler was playing aggressive, but there's a counter refrag immediately picked up by Triggered. That's exactly what Burning Chrome need just to even out these numbers here, and losing a man on objective is not good for the Great Apes. Triggered is playing so aggressive. He almost sees Talco, but Snooperfax instead is the one who peeks out aggressively and takes him down. Irish Gorilla also picking up another one. Now it's just 2v4. White Storm though, that nade could be perfect. Oh, it just barely missed it. Look at that. Very close. But never mind, the headshot through the gap there. Absolutely perfect as well. And now that's just going to leave 3 members of the Great Apes. Snooperfax may be able to get a nice long range shot here, but no, he turns around just at the wrong time. Very unfortunate though. It's instead Purple Highway who sees him And that's
I
going
got
to
one
only
crossing
leave
on
one
Onward.
member of Burning Chrome. It seems my prediction was correct. The first one to get a pick will be the first. Well, it will be the team to win. And since the Great Apes were the ones to get that pick, this is going to be the win for the Great Apes. Unless Sled can pull out some serious skills right here, right now. This is the clutch moment for all of the bananas, or half of the bananas. However bananas you get for taking the final map off of the team you lost to. Who knows? It's some bananas for certain. Alcow has made his position public by calling out on his radio there. Ooh, Snoopfax also made some noise. If Sled stays quiet, pre-fires Talcow around the corner, he knows where he is. This madman, he can't be doing it. He's utterly insane. Sled, what are you doing? He's going tablet out. He got his tablet right next to him, Purple Highway. He should see him. He's actually capping right now. There's no way they do not catch this. This is unbelievable. Burning Chrome clutched it. They clutched it by the skin of their teeth with a fantastic cap from the captain of Burning Chrome. Sled, I cannot believe what I've just seen. Unbelievable. He's going to be incredibly happy after that one. This final map has been a roller coaster from start to finish. From round to round, from minute to minute. What an absurd final map coming out from these two teams. But regardless of my excitement, everything must end. And that is the end of this map. It's going to go 5 points on Bazaar. 3 points on Bazaar for the Great Apes. 13-7 total score. Great Apes, apart from some issues on cargo, they had a pretty impressive map. They're certainly pretty impressive map, pretty impressive match. They're certainly pretty closely tied with Burning Chrome. The 40 MMR difference will be widened, though I think eventually the Great Apes, they will climb their way back up and they will bring themselves hopefully to parity with Burning Chrome. But regardless now, that is the end of the match. That is Burning Chrome versus the Great Apes. We do have more matches coming up later on during tomorrow and also following matches in the week. If you want more information, you can go to vrmastery.com/Onward. You can click on matches, get all the times and the matches that are cast. We do have Seth Bowden. It's tomorrow night at 1 AM GMT for Pack 1 versus Magnificent. And later on that day, on the evening of Saturday, 7 PM GMT, Beginners versus Lemon Squad. And if you want all the Sunday's matches, of which there is quite a few, of course you can go to that VR Master League website. It is in the Twitch description. But for now, that's going to be all from us tonight. Goodbye.